Okay, so I'm here with Aaron. Aaron's going to be making his pro debut at Chaos this weekend. It's a fantastic show, a fantastic venue. I want to thank you very much for your time and how much does this mean to you to be making your debut at a show like Chaos in the Millennium Forum?
Well, making my pro debut on Chaos, like look at the history of it as well. Like Conor McGregor fought in Chaos. That alone says a lot. Um, and Jason as a promoter is just fantastic to work with. Um, so it means a lot to me, like just to make my pro debut in front of my friends and family, and um, yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready to go. To be honest, like I'm ready for fight. Like this next couple of days will be over, and for Saturday to be here.
I can only imagine as it gets closer and closer, most fighters say that to me, fight week, they just want to kind of get in there. Um, but you were actually I talked to obviously Jason and Andy and Jack and whoever, and originally you were supposed to have a fight in the UK, which you just told me yourself. Do you feel better having it in your own country that you can have it in front of your friends and family and stuff like that? Does it mean more to you as well as the show to have those
Yeah.
people with you?
Um, like I'm not sure how other fighters feel for about it, but like for me, a long time, like going pro was like the first big step. So it means a lot to me. I'm not sure if it's the same for other fighters, but for me, this is like a really big step. So we do it in front of my friends and family means a lot more because if I was to fly over to Liverpool and fight pro, it would just be me, my coaches. There would be other than them, there'd be no one to celebrate a victory with.
Yeah, yeah. So like that, obviously you're gonna have all them there, and because it was actually slated as an amateur fight, this one first, and with what transpired is now pro. What was the you wanted to make the pro after? What was the reasoning for going pro? Did you just feel it's time after the fights? Because I looked at your tapology, like some of the names you fought are top, like they're top fighters. You fought the best of the best.
Um, it's got a point. Like I'm getting at that stage where I am getting older. Like I messed about too much as a kid, so like I'm nearly 30. So I would still want to make a career out of this. After I fought Jake Nye, like I thought it was just time. Like I always planned to go pro after my 10th amateur fight anyway. Um, and then the amateur fight with Jack was offered around the same time when I knew about fighting Jake Nye, but thankfully, like the way things worked, my pro fight would have been in Liverpool, but that would have been the week after Chaos, which would have been too risky to have an amateur fight against someone like Jack and then go fight my pro debut. Um, and then obviously, Jason was kind enough to still want me on the card, so he offered me the pro fight, and then Jack being the stud that he is, he's accepted, and now he's going pro too. So I think it's good for both of us. Like we both get to make our pro debuts basically at home.
Yeah, and it's good. One thing I've noticed with when amateur fighters turn pro, especially on this island, is they bring in someone. Like I kind of like the fact that it's two kind of local lads fighting as well. The downside is there's going to have to be a loss on one side, but I think it's better for the scene in general because years ago they used to just fight each other. Everyone just used to fight each other, whereas now it seems to be they're looking abroad or they're looking for different opponents.
Yeah,
Does that mean anything to you that it's someone local, or is Jack just the next person in your way?
he is the next person in my way, but at the same time, like Jack, like if you look back at, I'm pretty sure you know yourself. If you look at any of Jack's fights, that kid's not an easy fight. So like he's tricky on the feet. So I'm looking forward to actually going in there and making my pro debut against someone who is of that high of caliber.
Yeah, no, he is very good. With your training leading up to this, um, has your training increased? Like, is there any difference? Just talk to us about your training and your mindset leading up to a fight like this. Like when you know
Oh,
you're going pro.
to be honest, this camp has been a roller coaster. Like, we've been outside of camp. We've been working to get like our first house. Um, my first child's on the way. Um, and then we've had things like injuries, and then sorting out MRIs, bloods. It's been a pain in the ass, to be honest. But other than that, training in the gym's great. Like the guys I have at the minute, like have been phenomenal. Um, yeah, like even the kids, like we've got three young lads fighting on Chaos as well, and I can't wait to see them turn pro.
Yeah, no, the kids coming up are good, but I want to congratulate you on your child on the way and then house there, two massive milestones in person. Like people forget that fighters, especially amateur fighters, you work full-time jobs. You do like you have to go through all the same stuff we do, but you've got this other thing as well, which is so intense as well. So getting through that, fair play to you. And with that going to the show, do you have any like when you look at Jack, how much would you study him more now that you're going pro, whereas the amateur, most fighters kind of like to impose their style, but you have to know obviously his strengths and his weaknesses. Would you look at him or your coaches look at him more?
See, to be fair, I've got quite an obsessive mindset, so I like to study my opponents. Like ever since, if I could find videos on them, I would watch that video daily, nightly, seeing if I can find any tendency that they do or anything that they would do wrong or anything that I think I can exploit. For Jack, it's been no different. I've watched all his fights now too many times to be honest.
And you find sometimes, would that lead you to overthinking sometimes, or is it just you like every time you watch it, would you find something different maybe in something that he does, would you that you wouldn't pick up before? Like, would you look at one time and go, oh, he does this, and then the next time go, oh, I didn't see that in the last one? Is that as you're just trying to detail as much information as you can for when you actually step foot in the cage with him?
Yeah, well, to be fair as well, when you say that, there is times where I've watched footage like and I have overthought it. I think now, especially where I've get in the last few fights, went in there knowing what they're going to do. Well, having an idea of what they're going to do, but at the same time, what happens happens. This is a game of inches.
Yeah, and like that, you could go in and do something. He might be different because, like yourself, from amateur fights, especially, you would have known it because you fought such an array of good fighters that you could look at someone at one stage and they come out a couple of months later and they could be completely different fighters. Have you
Oh
found
yeah.
that in your amateur career that you might look the footage at one person and when you get to fight him, he's completely changed? Did that happen much?
Um, Sorry, say that question again for me.
Because fighters develop so quickly, especially at amateur. Like, have you looked at footage before of a fighter, let's say, and you think, right, this is what he's going to do, but when he gets there, he's a completely different fighter. Have you found that much throughout your career, looking at fighters with the evolution of MMA, that they everyone's progressing so quickly, including yourself, but they're different fighters than what you originally would have looked at on their footage?
Yeah, well, that's only thankfully that's only happened to me once where they've done something that's just completely caught me off guard. Other than that, excuse me, everyone else that I've fought has done pretty much what I think they're going to do. Because all fighters resort back to their instincts. Look at like I've been doing a lot of striking at the minute, but I know the minute I go in there, I'll revert straight back. I will be grapple heavy. Like I think all fighters when they're in there in the moment, they resort back to what's instinctual for them. So it'll be more a case of who can be more um what's the word? Like who can be more mindful about what they're doing, and keep a calm mind, not let their emotions dictate what they do.
Yeah, and in saying that, with your talk about being more mindful, has your mindset changed for this at all? Like, what's this last week going into it? Obviously, you're going to be weight cutting very soon. Do you have much to cut? Like, what's your weight cuts like?
No, the weight cut's okay at the minute. I don't have too much to lose, thankfully. Um, but no, to be honest, I like fight week at the start of fight week and the end of fight week. See, I'm like the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I fucking hate them. Oh, can I swear? Or
Yeah, you can say whatever you want.
yeah, yeah, I hate like the middle part of fight week because you're water loading, you're getting ready for the sauna. You don't want to be bothered by anyone. You can't have any carbs. It all sucks. But see, once I get weighed in, and I can have some carbs, get my sodium levels back up, and get some food into me, like I'll be a completely different person. Seeing how at the minute, I'm polite for the interview, but like see outside of this, I'm probably the most antisocial cunt you'll come across.
But that's understandable, especially I've witnessed a weight cut in person. I've seen someone cut, I think it was nearly 7 kgs overnight. Like it's not an easy process. And like I said, you've your own life outside this. This isn't your job as a sense at the minute. So you've a lot going on as well. So that's understandable. But once you've weighed in and all, and it's time to like once you've weighed in, it's all good. You're refueled. What's the feeling like then waiting for the fight the next day?
Waiting for the fight, I'm terrified. See, before I go out and fight, I'm shitting my pants. Um, but when I'm in the fight, it's a feeling I can't really explain. Like, see, once you're in there, it's just you and him. It's just you get to do what you've been working for months and months, and missing family events and missing everything else. Like you get to go in there and just have fun. I can't really put it into words. There's no way I can describe it.
Yeah, there's a lot of people like that. They said they can't put it into words what it feels like. And a lot of them said, like you, a lot of people go, oh, I'm calm before a fight all the time. And I think people who say they don't get nervous all that kind of
Those
worries
people
me.
are fucking liars.
I think that worry because anything you do in life, just say if I had something big for work tomorrow, presentation, if I'm not nervous, it means you don't not that it doesn't mean that much to you. You know, that sort of way. Whereas obviously this
Yeah,
means something to you. And a lot of fighters say that before the fight, and they say that especially waiting out the back, waiting how fast is the card going, how slow is it going, and that time when you're waiting is kind of the worst. And then, like I said, once your music hits and you get out there, is it like everything zones out, and then it's you and him, and you can just hear your corner? Like I know there's going to be a fantastic crowd, but does that kind of all drown out in the heat of the moment?
At the start it did, but see, as of recently, I've noticed that I'm walking out, and now I look into the crowd now, and I can actually hear everything, and I take the crowd in a wee bit more. But once I'm in there, like it's weird because the only people I can actually hear when I'm actually in the cage is like my dad or my woman shouting. They're funny enough, they're the only two people I can hear screaming.
Well, they're two good people to hear. Obviously, you need to hear everybody, but I like the way you're saying you're embracing kind of coming out as well, because a lot of fighters say they walk out and they don't really take it in at the time. And then one fighter said to me over time, he said like he's fought in the Tree Arena and he's fought in Bellator, and he said like I need to start embracing this and taking it in because this I'll never get this feeling again, and you'll never get it. The feeling you're
Yeah.
going to get this Saturday, you'll never get again because it's your pro debut. It's a massive, massive milestone for you, and I can't wait to see it. I'm going to let you go, but is there anything you want to say before you go, or anyone you want to thank?
Well, obviously, I want to thank my coaches. Like Pete McClay, T Barnett, who are my martial arts coaches. Like they have been phenomenal. Like T has terrorized me on the wrestling mat for months now. Like it's not even fun anymore. Um, my strength and conditioning coach Ali, he's been phenomenal. Like I know every fighter says it, best shape of my life, but I feel like I'm now in the best shape of my life. Hopefully it translates to the fight. And then obviously, my family and my woman, like she's been phenomenal because her being pregnant at the minute, it's not easy for her putting up with me. So definitely a massive shout out to her.
Yeah, no, it's a pregnancy is hard as well, but then when you've got a fighter who's preparing for a fight, like I said, cutting weight, it's going to be it's a rough week for you. But I can't wait to see the fight. I'm really excited. I won't be there in person, but I'll be watching on pay-per-view. I want to wish you the best of luck. I want to thank you so much for your time. It's been a pleasure, and the best of skill this weekend.
Thank you, man. Thanks so much.
Perfect. Thank you.